The scientist turned the man into a snake, splitting a python with a small knife and placing the half near the glass cup. As tentacles devoured the baby net snake at the break, a tail swiftly grew, restoring it instantly while he observed his experiment. The scientist immediately removed a chip from the snake's tongue and threw it into the cup, integrating it with human genes. After only 2.5 minutes, a huge snake egg grew on the laboratory table, and as the scientist slowly approached to examine it, the snake egg shook violently as tender little hands tore open the shell, revealing a humanoid creature's upper body inside. Before the scientist could recover, it transformed. Suddenly it stood, and in a blink shed its shell, becoming a handsome man. The scientist was thrilled by its sturdy body, but unexpectedly, the creature showed consciousness and grabbed his neck with a small hand. The poor man harbored mysterious grudges against the Northwest, terrifying the nearby assistant. He took the opportunity to escape the laboratory while the creature was still acclimating, unaware it didn't care. After admiring its perfect body, it paused and approached a nearby workbench. She wondered if his rebirth ability was intact. The man calmly lifted a 40-meter stone, severed his finger in one stroke, and showed no apparent pain. He licked the flowing liquid, then held the broken piece close to the glass apparatus on the table. In the blink of an eye, the repair was complete, confirming that his superpower had not been lost. Suddenly, a bold idea came to him. After disguising himself, he arrived at the town's largest bar, seeking a female companion for procreation. Meanwhile, the captivating lead singer frequently gyrated her hips on stage. This reminded him of his days as a company king, prompting him to take his rival down. The man extended his 2-meter tongue to kiss the woman, angering her boyfriend. Sang Biao slapped the opponent, knocking her to the ground, then with firm force threw her heavily down. He made the woman scream with a gun to satisfy his twisted desires. However, just as he had enough fun and was about to act, Agent Old Black, tasked with capturing him, suddenly attacked from behind, turning him into a hornet's nest and sapping his energy. Wounded Biao sprang up, rushed into elevator. Old Black resumed pursuit early, forcing him to swallow the shattered windshield in large mouthfuls. Instantly, the gun barrel on his chest was restored as Old Black pulled a sprayer to eliminate him. Sang Biao spotted his chance, jumped off the bridge, and vanished. His ability to reincarnate was accidental, as scientists had originally intended to develop a simulated human. He acts as a robber in a virtual world, allowing police to train with simulated combat scenarios. To make the simulation more realistic, scientists implanted thousands of criminals' personalities into his brain. However, scientists hadn't anticipated that the simulation humans would swiftly eliminate the police. This sparked their curiosity, leading them to bring the simulation humans into reality. For research, they captured a mutant python and fused it with simulated human genes to create a half-human, half-predator monster. Unexpectedly, Sang Biao gained self-awareness. To satisfy his killing desire, he disguised himself as human, snuck into the stadium, and targeted a stunning girl. The perverted plot unexpectedly attracted guards with sprayers. Disturbed, Sang Biao angrily threw the girl aside and covered the gun barrel. However, a gunshot blasted him away next second. However, as Sang Biao punched his opponent to the ground, persistent Old Black chased him back. When Old Black raised his gun to shoot, Sang Biao saw the dire situation and quickly flipped through the steel door, escaping to the street. A train had arrived at the station. Strong Sang Biao stretched his injured arm. The ruthless man could self-repair using nearby glass regardless of injuries. The black man beside him was dumbfounded, exclaiming, "Oh my god!" Even repairing a 2-meter-long leg took only a blink of an eye. The next day, Sang Biao was fully revived and resumed committing crimes. But this time, before he could act, Old Black arrived based on clues, just as Sang Biao's right hand was broken. Sang Biao extended his arm toward the halted train. His severed limb brushed the window, and in an instant, his palm regrew. By the time Officer Old Black arrived, Sang Biao took a female hostage but didn't force Old Black to surrender his weapon. Instead, he taunted him with words and fired his gun. Just as Old Black hesitated, a gunshot rang out. The woman fell to the ground. Although Old Black understood it was a setup, he watched Sang Biao take a boy hostage and leave, while the arriving police arrested Old Black on the spot toward the station. Sang Biao suddenly attacked the police vehicle, deliberately opened the door to free Old Black, knowing authorities wouldn't easily capture him. But this would make him a thorough wanted criminal. Yet as luck would have it, just as Sang Biao seized the TV station studio to prepare a global murder broadcast, Old Black, disregarding the police around, without a word he emptied his magazine on him. Sang Biao, seeing no good, fled to the rooftop, but Old Black relentlessly pursued him. With all his bullets spent, he couldn't understand, though Sang Biao was a mutant with extraordinary abilities. Old Black, with his physical form, was no match for him, and was quickly kicked over. However, Sang Biao didn't play by the rules, and directly jumped off a 1,000-foot-high building. Originally, I thought the two would perish together, but a rope unexpectedly hurled them into the building. Sang Biao was brutally torn apart, his limbs severed on the spot, yet glass shards saved him. He absorbed energy to restore his limbs and attempted to stand again, but Xiaofei wouldn't let him, pulling the rebirth chip from his brain. Completely destroying Sang Biao's immortal body successfully brought a perfect end to this gripping battle.